Yeah, good morning. So last session we discussed about styles. We will detailedly go into that concept today. So yesterday we discussed that styles are used for making HTML more interactive and responsive. So styles can be defined in three ways. We can define styles inline, we can define styles embedded, and we can define styles external style sheet. So that is what actually CSS. So first, let me give you one point. So inline styles. Inline styles means styles are defined for every element. Styles are defined for every element individually by using style attribute. By using style attribute, so we define the styles for every element individually. That is inline styles. So what is the problem with that? I told you already. So here we write like this. Suppose we have a div style attribute colon value. Later, how to write style attributes also we will discuss. That is just syntax, attribute and value. So styles are defined for every element individually. So what is good is they are faster because they are locally written for every element, they are faster. But the problem is you cannot reuse. You cannot reuse those styles. Why? Because if they are written for an element, they close for that element. They will not be available for other elements. We cannot use for any another element. Individual for every element. That is the problem with inline styles. Next important, embedded styles. Embedded styles. Embedded styles, the point here is styles are defined by using style container. Styles are defined by using style container. So you can reuse from any location within page. You can reuse from any location within page. So styles are not accessible to other pages. They are not accessible to other pages. That is the point about styles, embedded styles. Now here some very important questions are there. So see, syntactically first we write like this: style. We have to write a selector. What is selector? I will tell you. We will write attributes and value. That's how we write the styles. What is a selector that we are going to learn? We discuss now detailedly. So embedded styles, the styles are defined in a style container. and you can reuse those styles from any location within the page. But problem is they are not accessible to other pages. So here one important question, some frequently asked questions. So one frequently asked question is where to embed the style container. Where to embed the style container, in a head or body section? This is one question. So where to embed the style container, that means where to write the style, in head section or in body section. So answer is actually you can embed in both locations. You can embed in both locations. You can put in head section or in body section. Then obviously one more question will come. The question is, what is difference between head and body section? What is difference between head and body section? That means when to embed in head section and when to embed in body section. So you can put styles in head and body section. But the question is when to put in head section, when to put in body section. Actually, the answer, if you remembered already, we discussed that answer. When I told you about head section and body section in HTML, I already given answer for this. I told you that in head section, we keep the content which are loaded into memory, and they are kept in the memory, but not used immediately. They are loaded into memory. Whenever we want, we can call them and use them. If you want the styles to be loaded into memory and keep in the memory and use whenever required, then we have to keep in head section. If you keep in body section, the intention of body section is to apply immediately whenever the page is ready. That means those styles will be applied immediately whenever the page is ready. So that means during the body load, you want to apply the styles, then keep in body. You design the styles and keep in section. Later, whenever you want, you can use it. We can use it like that. That you will see in later stages. That means some styles will be applied only when mouse pointer is over. Some styles will apply only when you click the button. Some styles will apply only when you select checkbox. They will not immediately apply. So if styles are intended to load into memory and apply later, then better keep in head. So if you want to apply immediate, then you can keep in body. So that is the difference. As of now, they will work any location. For example, see, let's create a separate folder here. So, or say separate file, style demo, HTML. Okay. So here we are writing some effects. So here we are defining some effects, doc type HTML head, and title some styles. So in the body, so we have heading, some HTML, JavaScript, something like this. Now jQuery like this. Now we want to apply effects. I can keep in the head section style. And here I written for heading, we want some background color red and say color So white and text align center like this. Just some basic I am giving here and we are applying. These are applied there. These styles are applied and defined for that particular element here, right? We are configuring and defining for that element. Now the point is, when you defined here, that is working fine, remove from here and keep in the body section anywhere, beginning, in between, anywhere. And I changed some color, some blue, and you can see this is also working fine. Styles will work in both head section and body. But if you are writing some styles which will be applied later, so in that case we can configure that. Already we saw, I showed you some styles on checked, they will apply. Some styles on hover, they will apply. In that case, we have to keep that in the head section. So technically, when to define in head and body section. So styles in head section are intended to load into memory. Are intended to load into memory and apply whenever required. Styles in head section are defined in that way. Now styles in body section are intended to apply on body load. Styles in body section are load. So if you want the styles to apply on body load, then you can go with body section or in head section. But one more important point is, when you are going to work in some companies, some experienced senior developers will be there. Now those people have an habit of writing the styles outside HTML. But you will not see this anywhere, anybody recommending to you, like in any website or in any book. They will never mention that styles can be written outside HTML. But as expert developers, we write outside HTML. That means you have 15-20 years experience in web development. You know everything. You know all the consequences. Then we have an habit of writing the styles outside HTML. Outside HTML, I am changing the color here, green. And outside HTML is also working fine. And outside HTML is more faster than head and body section. It is more faster than head and body section. That means if you keep outside HTML, it will be more faster in applying. For example, I will copy this and I will keep in the head section. And here I am inspecting. Let's go to network category. Network. In the network category, now once refresh this page, and the page refreshed, it taken 134 milliseconds to load. 134 milliseconds for loading. I will remove this from head section. Same styles. I am copying in the outside HTML. Now it taken 112 milliseconds. It's faster. But if you see such coding from any expert developers and you ask, so do you recommend me to write outside HTML? He will say no. You write in head or body section only. Don't write in outside HTML, because writing styles outside HTML will have abnormal behavior. That means sometimes it will work, sometimes it will not work. Then why developers write? Because they know that situation. An expert knows the situation. That means what is the current page situation. For this situation, writing outside will work or not. He knows it because he is well experienced in that. He knows that. Then he tries to improve the performance better because he know the complete page situation. He know the complete page scenario and he knows how it behaves. Then he writes outside. You will see very regularly experts write outside only. They link everything outside HTML. But nobody will recommend you that. Even any website, any video, any book will not recommend you to write outside HTML. Even I will not give you in a note that you can write outside HTML, but just an idea that you will see people writing outside HTML. Then you should not get confused that why my faculty haven't told me that we can write outside, right? So we can write outside, but that's not for you. For your level, that is not. So because for that you need expert in understanding the situation of the page, that you will able to do once you start designing various types of pages and effects. So we don't need to worry about that. So as of now, as a learner, these 2 points are enough, head and body. But styles can be embedded outside HTML also, right? Next, another important question is what is MIME type? What is MIME type for styles? What is MIME type for styles? Media type. So MIME actually stands for, MIME is multi-purpose internet mail extensions. Multi-purpose internet mail extensions. So MIME, that is called MIME. Actually, what is the MIME type of styles? Generally, when you write any special container, browser need to understand what you are writing inside it. So for browser, we need to tell that this block contains this type of code. So that's what, because when you write something like inside this, when you write some code inside those curly braces, we generally call as a block, then browser asks a question, what is it? Is it script or is it style? Because script also will have block, styles also will have block. Then browser need to understand, is it a script or is it a style? Then what we do is we write the MIME type like this. The MIME type is, so text/CSS. Text/CSS is the MIME type. Text/CSS is the MIME type. That means when you are writing styles, then the styles MIME type will be text/CSS. This is called MIME type. So we have to write like this: style type is equal to text/CSS. This is mandatory. As of now, while practicing, even you don't write, it will work. But when you are building a real world application, it's mandatory that for styles you have to mention the MIME type. Otherwise, browsers will feel difficulty in understanding what you have written. So better always define the MIME type. And MIME type for styles is text/CSS. So you have to define the MIME type, text/CSS. So here you see, when we are writing the styles, anywhere when you are embedding the styles, I kept in head section. Here we have to define type is equal to text/CSS. That is important, that is MIME type for styles. So even you don't write, it will work, but finally when it goes to various browsers, it will have problem. So we should avoid that. So we should use MIME type. It's mandatory. Next important question is what is media type for styles? What is media type for styles? What is media type for styles? This is very important. Media type is nothing but actually media type is used to target styles, for printer, screen or speech. Media type is used to target styles for printer, screen or speech. So media type is used to target styles for printer, screen or speech. So the point is very simple actually. For example, we designed a ticket. That means we designed a ticket, flight ticket, bus ticket, train ticket, some ticket. And that ticket user can watch on screen. When you are showing the ticket on screen, obviously screen supports millions of colors and screen supports animations effects. Then what you can do is on that ticket, you can show some blinking text saying that special offer. You can show some rotating animations on the ticket. But now when user takes that printout, then problem will come. Why? Because on screen some animations are coming, but on printing those animations cannot come. Then on screen some colors may be displayed, but on printer some colors may not come. For example, you know, people use dot matrix printers. In bank you can see dot matrix means a ribbon will be there and it will print so blue, gray colors only. It cannot print others. In that case, what happens is your content will not print correctly because of those colors, because of those effects. When it goes to printer, it misbehaves. So that is the reason when we write styles, we target the styles for various devices. Like how? For example, say here currently the color, text, align, center and all these there, and I am giving some border as 2 pixel solid, some red color, something like this given, some 5 pixel solid. This is general. By default, every style is targeted towards screen. Every style is targeted towards screen. Now I will copy this and I will write another style set. Another style set. In this style set, I will say the media is print. The media is print. Media attribute indicates print. And when it goes to print, text align should be left. Background color should be black. And color, border color should be some gray. Color should be white. That's the option I have defined. Now I will save this here. You see the above one media is not defined. By default media will be screen. If you want, you can write. You can say media is what? Screen. You have media screen, you have media print, you have media speech also, but speech you cannot see here. Speech is on artificial intelligence devices like Amazon, Alexa, Google Home. Such things can read narrators. Screen narrators will be there for them. So initially we can have screen and we have print. Now you see it looks like this. That means when you are watching on screen, it have these colors. Let's open printer, Control P, and it will open printer properties. In printing, you can see the colors changed. In printing, alignments changed, colors changed. You can remove borders. You can remove borders. Suppose I don't want border, then I will keep border as none. Border as none. That means in printing, so currently it looks like this. In printing, border will be not there. Will not be there. That means we design styles in such a way that they will have different behavior for different situation. That means on screen it will be in one way, on print it will be in another way. We can even change the orientations, which you will later learn. For that you need to learn some more CSS. Orientation means you are watching YouTube on your mobile or any app on your mobile. You can watch your mobile in two orientations, portrait, landscape. You rotate your mobile, then the appearance will change automatically. That also we can design. That also we can design. That means when user is watching portrait, what should display? When he rotates, how it should occupy the screen, how much width, how much height it should have. Those things we can do, but not here. For that we have other options. So this is only for targeting our styles for printer, targeting our styles for screen, right? That's what the importance of media type. By default it is screen. That means here we need to define. So syntactically like this: style type is equal to text CSS and media is equal to print. These details, notes and examples I will upload into classroom today, right? So detail notes and everything I will upload, same like HTML, right? All examples what we are going to learn in the class, you will get it. This is only syntax I am giving here. You can define in this way, or you can configure style type is equal to text / CSS, media is equal to screen. You can add media as screen style. So media type styles, you can give print or you can give screen. Those are reserved words. You have to spell them and use them in the same way. Screen and print, right? So when you are writing the styles embedded, so many points you need to know. So where to embed in head or body? What should be the MIME type? Text / CSS. What should be the media type? Screen or print? These are important while using the styles embedded. Right? Next important, the third mechanism is external style sheets. External style sheets. External style sheets. External style sheets means you can define styles in a separate style sheet. You can define styles in a separate style sheet. In a separate style sheet. So with extension .css, style sheets will have extension .css, and you can link to any page. You can link to any page. You can define styles in a separate style sheet with extension .css, and you can link to any page. So you can reuse the styles. But one problem is there. Problem is nothing but using external style sheet will increase the number of requests for page. Will increase the number of requests for page. that increases page load time. That increases page load time. Using external style sheet is not great. Why? Because you should not use unnecessarily external style sheet. When you use external style sheet, then the number of requests for page will increase. One request for HTML, another request for CSS. And if, as a web developer, remember always, if number of requests are increasing for a page, then page load time will be increasing. As much as possible, try to reduce the number of requests for page. That's not a great idea. But if you want reusability across pages, then there is no other chance. So you have to use external style sheet only. Here also so many questions are there. We will see. First, how we can define that. So how you can define? So step one, first step, create a new file with extension .css. That means some effects.css. And in that you can write your styles, some heading, some color, something like this. Just I am giving only one small. First step, create a new file with extension.css. Then second step, after that, step 2. So link to your HTML page, that you know already. How to link? Link relation is equal to style sheet. Link href is equal to effects.css. Wherever you kept it, location. So this is how you can link. So where you link, again same. You can link in head, you can link in body, you can link in external outside HTML. So it's not only in head section. You can define in head or body or in a outside HTML also. So first step, create a file, write your effects. Second step, link to the page. So that is, advantage is you can reuse across any page. From any page you can use it, and if you do any modification, it will affect them. That means if you make change in the CSS file, it is going to affect all. It is going to affect everywhere. So, but problem is page load time will increase, number of requests will increase. You see here, currently in this you can see, when I go to network category and refresh here, currently you can see 2 requests are present. Currently 2 requests are present for page. But we have only one page. Our page is style demo. And second one is actually WS is WebSocket. WebSocket is working because of live server. Currently we are using live server. What WebSocket will do is, WebSocket is there everywhere. You may not know about it, later you will learn. WebSocket advantage is, whenever any new update comes, it will not wait until user refreshes. It will push it. It will push it. So that is the point of WebSocket. That is the reason you do modification in the code and go to browser and see that modification is updated. Without refreshing itself, it is updated. Without refreshing, it is updated. Without refreshing itself, it is updated. That means you see, I went to the code here. I went to the code and I done some changes here. That means here I changed the background color to some yellow, something like this, or blue. And I will save. I am not refreshing the page. I will go back to the page and you see that change occurred. That means we don't need to reload the page. Sometimes actually you have to reload the page if WebSocket is not working. If WebSocket is working, it will push the updates. So that is already working here. So two requests are coming. That means one request for WebSocket, ignore it, that you should not count. So one request only there, that is for HTML page. But see now what happens here. I will go here and I will remove that style from here. These styles are removed from here. I will delete this style. Okay. Go to your project location, and in project location, always keep your dynamic files in SRC folder. SRC folder. We created SRC folder. I told you that static files are kept in public and dynamic files are kept in SRC. You can keep anywhere, but as per project standards, traditions, SRC, in SRC, I will keep a separate folder again. And that folder name I will give as styles. In that styles folder, I will add a new file. That file is effects.css. Style sheets will have extension .css, and in that CSS file, we have to write the styles directly. You don't need any tag or anything. Directly write the style. So these are the styles. Directly you have to write the styles, no tag, nothing. And now I am changing here some green again. Now I need to apply this to my page. So currently it is not working. It is not working. I need to apply that. Then what we have to do? We have to link. Already we know that process. So here what we have to do? Link relation is equal to style sheet. Link href is equal to, it is in /src in that styles in that effects.css. Now when I link this, you see now number of requests increases now. You see number of requests increases. This time how many requests came? 3 requests came, right? Remember, when number of requests increases, then the page load time increases, the traffic increases. And it's not only that, we are using external style sheets. External style sheets, again, so many points are there. Actually, this is one basic thing. We are using style sheet. Now, very important question is in frequently asked questions. So in frequently asked questions, so what is minification? This is very important. What is minification? What is minification? So remember, in real-time development, when we are finally giving the website to client, we should not use this file. We should not use the CSS files. Finally, when you are publishing this website, that means it is going live, you should not use that file. Why? Because these files are very heavy. They occupy more space in memory. For example, see, here, suppose I will go to that folder, styles effects, open in Explorer. I will right click on this effects.css, go to properties. Its size is 107 bytes. 107 bytes. That means it is occupying 107 bytes space in memory. And it is having only 6 lines. 6 lines, 100 bytes. That is too much. So because usually in our general website development, every CSS file contains thousands of lines. Thousands. In your companies, when you are writing CSS, thousands of lines minimum, mandatory. That means a style sheet contains thousands of lines. That means it will be in MB. So these are very heavy for pages. So what is minification? So minification actually, so it is the process. It is the process. It is minification is the process used to reduce. It is the process used to reduce file size. It is the process used to reduce file size. Minification is the process used to reduce file size. Actually, it is a programming technique. It is a programming technique used by developers to reduce file size. It is optimizing. Optimizing means compressing. It is optimizing, compressing file. It is optimizing the file, compressing file. So here one more important is whenever you ask how I can reduce the size of file, then generally to reduce size of file, people will give you an answer like use WinZip or WinRAR. By using zip RAR, you can compress. But zip and RAR files cannot be used for HTML. That means WinZip, WinRAR are not suitable. You cannot use WinZip in WinRAR to compress the files. So because compressed zip and RAR files cannot be used by HTML, then how you will reduce the size of file? How you will reduce the size of file without zip, without RAR? That means developer have to use some programming techniques in such a way that those techniques will reduce the size. What are those techniques? Simple example I will give you here. See, suppose, just basic example first I will give you. Suppose I am writing, as a developer, I am writing if condition. And here statement if true. If true. Then else statement if false. Statement if false. Actually, this is how a developer writes some condition. Here almost we have 7-8 lines code. Now developer can reduce these 7-8 lines into one line. I can write like this: condition and question mark, statement if true, and colon, statement if false. Both are same. Both are same. This is minification. That means above he written 7 lines, I reduced it to 1 line. That is valid, that works. That is called ternary operator. Instead of if, we use this. That means now developer can reduce the size of file by writing program in such a way that functionality will be same, but number of lines will be reduced. But if you ask a developer to write like this, that's very difficult. That means thousands of lines code. He need to think every possible shortcut for every concept. That is difficult. Time waste, time consuming, right? It's impossible. That is the reason for that we have special softwares. By using those softwares, you take the file and give the file to, you take the file or take the code and give it to that software will compress and give you. And you copy that compressed code and use in your website. It is always recommended to use that. I will tell you both situations. See, that means here we have 6 lines code. Now I will copy this 6 lines code. Now you can have various softwares you can download online. You can use online softwares, you can download some softwares. Later I will show you, we can install some plugins that we will see later. When I tell you about SaaS less, we will discuss about that. As of now, you just go Google and you just search for, currently we want to minify CSS. You search for CSS minifier. You search for CSS minifier online, so many will come. Millions will be there. Millions of tools will be there. Online tools will be there. So you click, suppose there is a option called CSS minifier. I click on that. You can see this is CSS minifier. In this CSS minifier, you see left side, it is asking input your CSS. That means you paste your code here. Whatever code you written in your own way, you paste it here. And after that, click minify button. When I click minify button, then it will give you the output in this way. That means it will remove the blank spaces, it will remove the line breaks, it will remove unnecessary things. Not only unnecessary, it will convert some code in such a way that it is shorter. For example, green color. Green spelling, GREEN, 5 characters. Can you make it short? We can make it short, na? In 4 characters we can write. How we can write? Hexadecimal 3 representation I told you, na? That means you can put one hash and red, green, blue. That means 0F0. 4 characters, 1 character reduce it. That is the technique. That is the technique. So sometimes you can make it by yourself, but it is very difficult. Right? Now this is enough. What we have to do now, copy this code. Copy that code, or you will have an option download file. When you download file, it will ask you the file name. You have to give a file name. Then when you give the file name, so it will download like effects. If you give the file name, it will give .min.css. Min.css. This min.css, don't think that min is extension. Min is not extension. It is also name only. That means it is also CSS file. Min is just to tell us that it is compressed. So both are same. Both are CSS files only. So it will give you like this. Otherwise, you can manually create. Now see what I am doing here. In the styles folder, I will add another file. I will add another file. What should be the name? fx.min.css. fx.min.css. Now in this file, you have to paste that copied code. That's it. That means this is ready. And you have to link your minified file to the page. Suppose I am not linking any file to the page. So, and you can see currently effects are not working. Currently effects are not working. You can see currently effects are not there. Let's link the minified file. So we have fx.min.css. Then you can see those effects are working fine again. We are using minified file. Let's see the size of that file. You have 2 files now. One original file, another one minified. 107 bytes it is having. Now I will right click and go to the properties. It is 76 bytes. Good. That means 30% size reduced. Right? This is minification. Minification. So you can, and very important, in real-time projects, a developer is provided with both files, fx.css and fx.min.css. Developer is given with both files. Developer have to use the original CSS file in designing. That means it is used in development. And the minified file is used in production. We should not use minified file in development. when you are developing an application, you should not use minified file. Why we should not use minified file in development? Because if you try to use minified file in development, then while developing, you are a developer. If there is any error occurred, then it will show you that it is having error, but it will not track the error location correctly. That means it will say that there is error, but it cannot correctly tell in which line error is, because lines are compressed. Na? Actually, for developers, it will tell the line number. In programming, we can get the line number. In line number 4, this error is there. But in minified files, line numbers will be gone. That means developer will know that there is a mistake, but he cannot track correctly where the mistake is. That is the reason developers will use the original file. But finally, when they are publishing the website, production means when it is going live. When it is going live, developers will remove the original files and will keep the minified files. So the actual file is used for development and minified file is used for production. That you can observe. Actually, if you remembered, we downloaded Bootstrap, right? When we downloaded Bootstrap, you can see the Bootstrap CSS files. In Bootstrap, there is a dist folder. In that dist CSS folder, you see in that there is Bootstrap min.css also. We have Bootstrap CSS, we have Bootstrap min.css, but we were not using it because we are developing. Any problem occurred, it is difficult to track the problem. So then why they have given 2 files to us? So one file for developing, another file for production. When it goes for production, you can use this minified files. How to minify? That I have showed you. You can go to online website, you can copy your code, paste it, minify, copy it, and you can use it. That is what minified file. Technically, this is minified and this is minification. Don't worry about other concepts. So others you will learn later. That means SAS, less and others. What is map files and all these you will learn later, right? As of now, 2 important things you need to know. So what is minification? Let me give you more clear. So minification, this is minification. So what minification will do? It removes blank spaces, line breaks, and uses shorthand techniques to reduce file size. Blank space, line breaks, and uses shorthand techniques to reduce file size. So how to do that? Just an example I will give you here. Step 1, first step, create a CSS file, fx.css. In that I am writing some heading, and it is written like this. So color is equal to green. Color is equal to green. Next, step 2. So visit any minification online site. Actually, you have a site called cssminifier.com. You can try that. Directly you have a CSS. So many are there, you can use any. online site, or you can actually download some softwares, not required as of now, just this is enough. And next step, copy the actual CSS code, click minify button, copy actual CSS code, click minify button. So now step 3, copy the minified code, then go to project, add a new file, so fx.min.css, and paste the minified code. Paste the minified code. So that is, and fx.min.css will contain code like this: heading 2, say color, so hash f0f0, like this you can have. That means it is reduced to single line. It is reduced to single line. Next step 4, so link minified file to your page. Link the minified file to your page. So that is option. So note, the note is simple, 2 points here. Uncompressed file, this is for development, and compressed file for production. Uncompressed file, that is for development, compressed file for production. And if anybody asks like, can we edit minified file? So the answer is yes, you can edit, but not recommended. That means suppose you done some modifications in that file, then what to do? No chance. Every time, every modification, again you have to minify. That means you done some modification, then again minify, then copy that new code and use it. So if anyone asks, can I directly do changes in the minified file? That means you cannot do any changes in the minified files, right? So technically you can change, but it is not recommended. Why? Because if you make changes in minified file, you are disturbing the minified environment. You can make changes in the minified file, because minified file also CSS file only. It is also CSS file only. So you cannot directly edit it in real world environment. It is always recommended to make changes in the original file. Next important another point is, when you are working with external files, one more option is Another frequently asked question is, what is CDN? What is CDN? While working with external files, one more option is, what is CDN? What is CDN? Actually, CDN is content distribution network, content distribution network, or content distribution, or you can say delivery network. Content distribution or delivery network. Right. Now, here the point is, what is this CDN? So CDN generally nothing but when we are developing applications and we are developing multiple projects. Currently, you kept this CSS file in a separate style sheet in your separate folder. Now it is accessible anywhere. Is it accessible to other projects also? It is accessible to other projects also. Can any another project access this? So that is the issue. It can access if your project gives you the permission. If it gives the permission, that means file accessing permission through network, then they can access. In real world, what happens is, for example, because we have to maintain the space, usually we have some project A, so like project B, something like this, project C. Several projects are there. We are building so many projects. Now, all these projects needs Bootstrap, CSS, something like. In that case, what we do is, we maintain a separate server. We maintain a separate server. In this server, we will put all our CSS files. In that server, we will maintain the CSS files. This is the server. And these projects, actually what we are doing now, from the server, we are downloading that file and using it. From the server, we are downloading the file and using it. Then that if I am downloading that file from the server and using it, it will occupy some space in this project. So instead of that, what we can do is, instead of that, we can directly use this here. From that server, we can directly access and use it. We can directly access and use it from that server. That's good. That means you are not wasting your project space. You are accessing from remote location and you are using it. This is CDN. This is CDN. What is good? What is bad? So good is you are saving the space on your project. Good. What is bad? It should come from another server. Obviously, it will be late. Obviously, it will be late because it has to come from some other server. If that server is not responding, if server is not responding, it is taking time, then you have to wait until the server responds. These issues will be there. But these days we are in a cloud technologies, cloud environment. So coming from remote areas, remote locations, this is not a concern, because we are in cloud technologies, and in cloud technologies these type of issues are resolved already solved. So we don't have much issues, but it is not great every time. Why? Because see here, so previously what we done is, suppose I want to use Bootstrap in this page. What we done, we downloaded Bootstrap. When we downloaded Bootstrap, we can link from local location. How we can link from local location? Like link relation is equal to style sheet href is equal to, it is present in node modules. But if We don't want to download. Without downloading also, we downloaded already. Without downloading, if you want, you can visit their official website, getbootstrap.com. This is their official website. In this website, you go to download category. When you go to download category, they will give you here CDN. They will give you CDN and they will give you the path here. They will give you the path here. Just what you have to do is, so if you want that, you just copy that. You just copy that path. You just copy that path. Copy that path. And you have to go here and paste that here. And actually, you can see this is coming from this location. Directly, it is coming from this location. And the file is same file, bootstrap min.css. It is giving you the minified file. We are accessing and using the minified file, right? And very important here, you can see there is an option called cross horizon. If you remembered, I already told you about this. Remembered? I already told you about that while learning about images advanced attributes. I told you image advanced attributes. In image advanced attributes, I told you few advanced options: cross horizon, another importance, decoding. If you remembered that, I told you that these are required especially while working with the servers. So cross horizon, anonymous, and use credentials. Two options will be there. Anonymous means allow anyone can access it, right? So you don't need to worry about this as of now. You can see here, you can access and you can define. You can access and you can define. So you can access and you can define from remote location. What is good, what is bad? Now you don't need to download. So your space is saved. But it has to come from online. If you are not connected to internet, this will not work. That means if you are using some classes and you are not connected to internet, then it will not work. Because every time it has to connect to that server, access from the server and get it. It will take more time also. But if you have your own cloud repository, you have your own server locations, and you can access them and use them through CDN. So CDN allows you to access. So what is the point? It keeps the repository. It keeps the repository in a server. And gives access from any remote location. It keeps the repository in a server and gives access from any remote location. So that is the point. Actually, that kind of concept is regularly used. These days, people don't download, they will directly put the CDNs and directly use it. So, but it has its own issues. When you are working with that, you should know that it has its own issues. This is all the three techniques and their some limitations. So styles can be used inline, styles can be used embedded, and styles can be used external file. Here so many questions are there. Now we need to understand those questions. That means CSS rules and limitations. That CSS rules. First, you need to understand the CSS rules and limitations. That means obviously questions will come and people ask the questions like, suppose I return style inline. For the same element, I return style embedded. And for the same element, I return style in external file. Which one will work? So that means if all three are written, then which one will work? So the first priority is given for inline. Second priority is for embedded. Third priority is for external file. Remember, if for example inline we have style is equal to color as red, and in embedded for the same heading, here I defined for heading. So here I defined for heading color as green. Which color it will apply? It will apply red. And very important here is, if I define background color is yellow, it will apply both. That means you return styles inline, embedded and external file. If three locations contain different effects, all will apply. If any same effect is repeated, then according to priority it will apply. Understood the point? That means suppose in inline you return color, in external file you given border, and in embedded you given background color. All three will work. So if border is given in external file and you written border in inline, then inline border will work. That means same effects will be replaced according to priority. Different effects will work. So that means it is going to apply both of them. It is going to apply and handle both of them. For example, I written here, so style for heading 2, background color as yellow. And for this I defined style, so color as red. So that means here you can see when we apply this, it is going to apply both. That means the background color will be applied, the color also will be applied. Suppose here I am writing background color as suppose some green, some background color as green, that green will apply. So inline will have the priority. You write external file, different effect, it will work. That means the effects from all three locations will work. If the same effect is repeated, then priority wise it will apply. So inline, embedded, another one external file. So there are so many other rules. For that we need to understand now very big important concept. That is very important concept, selectors in CSS. Selectors in CSS means how to apply effects to elements, how to write headings, ID, classes, and all these selectors. Several selectors are there. Few already we learned. So now we will learn all in order. That is important. That we will see in our next session, right? In next session, we will see how we can work with selectors and how we can deal with the selectors. Okay. Next session tomorrow, you are available? Tomorrow we can have session, same time. You are busy, no? Then tomorrow we will have session, same timing, right? Same timing tomorrow we will have session, right? So that we can spend time, so that it will be easy to finish so more topics earlier, right? So tomorrow we will continue. Tomorrow we will have session, right? Same time, right? Yeah.